Of course they are at risk.
So you're saying in a way they're at risk in either situation. The economy minister Nir Baraka told ABC News, hostages and civilian casualties will be secondary to destroying Hamas, even if it takes a year.
I am telling you what is the cabinet instructions. 2 elements.
Okay.
Get rid of Hamas, destroy its capabilities.
He is a minister.
He is a minister. Get rid, I'm telling you what the cabinet, the war cabinet.
Okay.
Get rid of Hamas capabilities and Hamas regime, release the hostages. Both have done, as you saw last night, while taking operation to get rid of Hamas, we also released the hostage. So, you know, that's the reality of life.
Okay, so one part is the military offensive excellency. The other is this business of cutting off food, water, electricity, supplies. 8 trucks are still piled up on the Egypt border. How is that justified?
So first of all, we increased very much the amount of the Prime Minister and President Biden spoke yesterday,
yes,
agreed to increase significantly the amount of trucks. I will ask you the question, you have been to the region. How does the supply of rockets doesn't end and all the rest of the supplies end? It means that all during the years they were smuggling in quantities of ammunitions, of whatever you saw to use to attack Israeli civilians,
yes, that
was smuggled in, many probably under the, you know, the cover of humanitarian. That's the first point. Second point is, when you have humanitarian, as I mentioned before, Hamas takes it over. They are the ones who are delivering it or taking it from the UN. You cannot even, UNRWA was unable to keep its, the UN was unable to keep the product. Wait.
Yes, yes.
And but there is also by international law, by the way, for example, about electricity. If the thing that is humanitarian is used to fire rockets,
right,
8,500 rockets indiscriminately at the Israeli population and at themselves, because 20% more or less are misfiring.
Yes.
So 1,500 or a little bit more already fired and killed, like in the hospital there. So you are allowed, or them even expected, not to give it. Because if it's used, humanitarian, and used to hit your civilians, it will be irresponsible to give them.
But the food, the water, those supplies are for civilian population, and the number of trucks that have been allowed in, by all accounts, are minuscule.
Now,
barely enough for 2 million.
We are monitoring the humanitarian situation.
Okay.
We are making sure there is no crisis, just for your eyes, for your ears, to know. The water supply from Israel before was 10% of the supply, okay? And one of the 3 channels of supply was bombed by their rockets, was hit. We are fixing it, even this. Electricity, like 10 lines that came from Israel were hit, out of the 10, like 9 were hit by the rockets, by the mortars. So they hit themselves, but anyhow, I'm telling you,
you're saying you're committed, but again, look at what your own ministers are saying. Your Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant, we are imposing a complete siege on Gaza, no electricity, no food, no water, no fuel, everything is closed.
When was that?
We are fighting human animals. This was some weeks ago.
Okay.
We are fighting human animals.
By the way, I agree. I don't want to say animals because I think that the animals deserve more respect. At the beginning, we were a little bit in a different direction. Now we are calibrating our policy. Our policy is to make sure that humanitarian crisis is averted.